rising young people and new people. Welcome to the channel. Hey, could you like and subscribe to my YouTube channel? Or could you like the video and subscribe to my channel? I know it's supposed to be something like that. These are the things that people say that have hundreds and thousands of subscribers. For some reason or another, that seems to work. Or people could just be interested in it. I don't know. But I'm going to try to say it the way they said it. If you have something that works, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Hey, Kyle. So, like my video. Oh, hey, Liam. Oh yeah, you're the 9-year old, right? Right. All right. Good to see you. So, how's your situation going with the bully? I came up with some solutions for you if you want to hear them. I don't know much about bullies. All right, all right. That's the thing. Uh, it takes a while, and you'll have to do it for a while. It's not a one time and done. All right, all right, because bullies are stupid. Okay, um, you can always outthink them. Okay, if you can, go to your counselor and ask him if we could start a anti-bullying class or something like that, or if you can make some anti-bullying flyers or something like that. There, what you want to do is you want to bring other people in. You don't want to be an island. Okay, bring her in. Oh yeah, especially if it's a her, because she'll respond uh, because she is maternal. Okay, so you got a better shot than having a man try to understand where you're coming from. Okay, so kind of use that type of thing. Try to have some ideas. Try to have some people in mind if you have to, because probably what she'll ask you is, well, is somebody bullying you or something like that? There, you want to get it out. You don't want to be. Uh, uh, oh, hi, Kelly. Okay, so you want to get it out there and let the universe bring things to you, or karma. Okay, if you don't say anything, nothing's going to change. Okay, so uh, just like you said, you tried it for a little while and it worked. Okay, so then you have to report the guy. What you do, the Bible says, what you do in secret. Oh, okay, that's cool. I'm glad I started a couple of minutes earlier, and I had a chance to see that you came on. So that's pretty cool. Okay. So if you have to go, that's fine. I'll be here Wednesday. I'm Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Um, and then again, you could always go over the videos later if you like. Okay, so you have to get other people involved. If you're just gonna do it on your own, they'll probably keep going. Um, People who join bullies are usually people that the bully bullied and uh, They went with the thinking, well, if you can't beat them, join them. Okay. So everybody knows that if you hit someone in the nose, that usually gets their attention. And even if it doesn't stop the bullying, uh, there's something about a bloody nose that makes somebody check their attitude or change their attitude. Okay. So you don't have to win, but once you do something like that, just aim for it. Okay. And, let them know that you'll stand up for yourself, just like you did so far. And let them know you're willing to do it again. Okay. My teacher will send me him. What is your teacher sending you a bully? Or your teacher will send you to a counselor or what? Oh, your teacher will send you home. That's fine. Let your parents, if you have level-headed parents, let them get involved. But if you do not have level-headed parents, don't let them know that somebody is bullying their child. That could be that's not going to go well. Okay. So anyway, just be smart. Say something every once in a while. Okay. Hey, Javier. Oh, geez. T. Zaire Smith. Hi. Okay. Uh, so if your teacher, not your teacher, your counselor. Okay. Teachers, they've got a classroom of people to deal with, so they may, take time out to deal with you, but chances are pretty good they won't because they're busy, they're overworked, um, and you know what your fellow students are like. So you're just going to have to make an appointment to see a counselor or um, see if you can talk to the principal. You're a smart kid. You'll figure it out. But the most important thing is don't hide it. Then the next thing is you're going to have to stand up for yourself. Nobody's going to help you. Nobody. The bully has people to help them because he went out and bullied them and they just didn't want to fight back. So now they're friends. So that's how this bullying thing works. That's why they always have a couple people with him. But there very seldom is more than one bully per group. Okay, because groups of people don't tolerate bullies. Okay, if somebody else knew that you were getting bullied, it would go well for you. Okay, but just don't give up. Okay, and don't keep it to yourself. Okay, so um, why did I start today? Oh, geez, I forgot what the topic of the video was. And I just wrote it. Oh well. Oh well. Let me see. I don't want to be flippant. I had something that I wanted to say, and then I got talking to my man, Liam. Hey Melvin, what does SF stand for? I'm an American. We only know one language, and that's English, or at least most of us. What does SF mean? Life with Jahadad. I don't want it to go past. I mean, I could probably ask um, Google, but I'm not going to try to do that while I'm doing the video. There's no telling what'll happen when I start pushing buttons. Okay, so I'm not looking at my topic, so I'm just going to try to go with my compassion and stuff. And try to give you what I went through. Oh, I know what it was. What do you feel about frequencies? 432 hertz, 458 hertz. stuff like that. There, I didn't ever get into them until I think I started in 2023, and I'm glad I did. All right, double joined. Oh, double jointed anywhere? Oh, holy moly! Is anybody on here double jointed? Well, those are always special. Uh, you'll know if somebody's double jointed because they don't mind showing you. Holy moly! Anybody on here double jointed? Okay, so like I subscribe to my video, I'm trying to get 1,000 subscribers so I can get monetized. Okay, I've been doing this since 2012. That's probably around about the time some of you were born. It seems to be I'm getting the younger crowd, but not kids, because my videos are marked not for kids. So yeah, I don't want to get in trouble with the person who is handling my videos because I'm doing something with kids. I'm not a counselor. I'm not a teacher. I'm just a guy. So um, I don't want to get in trouble. So anyway, life is much easier without being in trouble. Okay, trust me on that. Okay, but I'll still be like Liam. I'll stand up for myself. Okay, and that's going to mean you're going to get in trouble. So don't expect just because you're manning up, you're not going to get in trouble because some people can. I don't know. People are just goofy. They'll look at you like you're the problem. I'm like, hey, all right. So whenever you ask for help, whenever I ask for help, I don't ask for help that makes people do anything. So, for example, if you like and subscribe to my YouTube videos, it won't cost you anything. So do it now while you're thinking about it, and you won't have to think about it later. So do it now. Do it now. Like and subscribe. Okay. All right. So I am so glad that I started doing frequencies because I'm a empathetic person, and like I can feel uh, somebody's pain if they're getting bullied. I could feel that. Okay, my bully is a woman, so just to let you know, it doesn't just happen to you because you're younger. Mine is a full-fledged bully because I told two of my coworkers about some of the stuff she does, and it's outrageous. Okay, what she does. She's white, and I have always, not always like once a month or anything like that there, but for some reason or another, I'm attractive to white women. Okay, or at least I'm attractive to the white women who don't mind uh, touching me. Okay, so I've always been molested. Okay, since uh, since I can remember, and it didn't stop just because I reached a certain age. All right. So the things that happen to you when you're young, it'll be the same things that's going to happen to you when you're older. All right. I can prove it. The Bible says, train up the child, right, when they are young in the way that they should go. And when they're older, they won't part from it. That means when they get older, they'll remember it and do whatever it is they do. Okay. Whatever they're trying to do. Uh, like little Jimmy is in kindergarten or something. And maybe not kindergarten. Maybe they're 7 or 8, and they're having uh, the day when construction workers come in and talk about what they do. Firemen come in and talk about what they do. Okay, and some kid or all kids when you ask them at that age, what do you want to be when you grow up? And they'll say, I want to be a fireman or I want to be a policeman. All wonderful, respectable jobs. If it's being done by a honorable and respectable person, okay. Even ICE could probably be good if they had what we call an old bull. All right. If you have a bunch of young bulls, and if they are unruly or whatever, um, you have to put an old bull in there, and the old bull will get them under control. We don't know why it works, but we've seen studies and uh, scientists or whatever people who do that kind of thing um, swear by if you have unruly anybody. So, for example, if you have someone who is like a bully, if you put an older person in there, they don't bully. See how it works? All right. All right. So, anyway, when they get older, they won't part from it. Me, whenever I was younger, I would sing. And when I got older, that's what I would do. I would sing. When Michael Jordan was younger, he'd be out there playing basketball, probably in the rain. And when he got older, he became a basketball player. All right. So, one thing I do know about bullies because I had a family member, one of her sons was getting bullied, and I guess he worked his way through it. I told his mother because he told me, and actually there were 4 or 5 of us in the car, and he just said something out of the clear blue sky. I was like, okay, yeah, that was different. About somebody was bullying him. All right, and it kind of caught me by surprise because I was driving and he had a drink. Usually when I take the kids somewhere, I'll usually take all the kids. I'm that are there. So when I go see my grandkids or something, if I'm gonna take them to the store, I'll take their cousins too. Okay, so I usually will have more than one kid in the car. Okay, so he just happened to say that. Now he had a drink, and it was one of those with the white tip on it. You could squeeze it, or you have to squeeze it to drink it, or something like that. And it had this little black thing in it. Now I could have played that off a little bit, and or I could probably told him, man up. Okay. Oh yeah, sure. Yeah. I would like to have a moderator. I guess you're subscribed to my channel and you like some of my videos, so you should be able to do that. I'll try to figure out how to do it because I don't think I could do it. I don't think I can make you a moderator while we're talking. Channel activity, remove, report, pin message. Can I be a moderator? All right, no. I'll go over that later. When I get a couple of subs on here, after the video is processed, sometimes it takes 24 hours to process a video. Depends on how long it is. Um, I could see your question. Okay, and then what will go from there? Doodle fan. All right. Somebody asked me once if I knew what 6'7" stood for, and when somebody tells me something, I'm one of them kind of people. I overthink it, and I didn't know at the time, but coincidentally, somebody had it in their videos because I like to watch the reaction videos. And you will learn a lot of stuff in the watching those reaction videos. So, for example, I don't want to be the family member who has a hot stock tip, but I found some stocks that the people who were doing the reaction videos were recommending. To me, that seems to be easier than trying to go out and learn how to invest in stocks and stuff like that. There, but I do have a family member. She said, "Oh, hey, Abdul. By the way, oh, that's my. Are you from Egypt? with a name like that, because Abdul, that's not really a an American name. There are people in America named Abdul, but jewelry, jewelry person. All right. Are you from overseas, or are your parents from overseas or something? If it's an issue with ICE or something like that, you wouldn't have to worry about them right now because they're working at the airports. You know what I'm saying? You might not know this, but there's a lot of airports. Okay. All right. Louisiana, five generations. Okay, okay. Hey, is your Popeyes? I'm going out of business because I've watched some of the reaction video guys, and they're talking about how many fast food places are going out of business or filing bankruptcy or closing stores and stuff. And um, I believe that Popeye's Chicken started in Louisiana. So I was wondering if you have that. I'm going on. I'm down there. Are your stores closing? Because I'm conspiracy theorists, and I'd like the new people and the younger people because they are grabbing hold of the conspiracy theorists. Oh, okay, okay. They're grabbing onto the conspiracy theorists or theories a lot faster than my age group did. All right, we didn't have that many conspiracy theorists, or if we did, I didn't really pay them attention. But I'm paying them attention now because most of the conspiracy theories that I grew up with are ended up being true now. I'm the old Abdul D8S 41 1. Okay, I'll try to remember that. Okay. Uh, all right. So the I'm conspiracy theorist. Oh, so this is what helped me start doing frequencies. Okay. And number one, I would have thought that people who would listen to frequencies and do yoga and stuff like that, I would have thought that they're either practicing witchcraft or something like that. All right. Have a wonderful day, dude. Spreading kindness. I will. The hamfish of truth and love. Okay. So I hope I see you Wednesday or Friday. You'll probably stick out because of your little logo there. Logo there. It's an H. So I don't have to strain on it because that H just jumped right out at me. I'm like, okay, all right. Now, what is that thing called? I know you change it on your profile page, but anyway, I'll probably think of it and probably spit it out a little bit later. But right now, I was thinking about frequencies. I've been listening to them, and right now I'm listening to a frequency. It's for the root chakras. I want you young people to kind of learn about the chakras. I have no idea what a chakra is until I paid it attention a little bit. And the chakras are near points of your body. I was summoned. Hey, random, welcome to the room. I want you to think about the chakras. I think there's seven of them, and they're around major organs. Okay, and in theory, or my theory, you're paying attention to a particular part of your body. If you have pain, you're going to pay attention to that part of your body, right? All right. So I'm going to help you get the idea here. So when you're doing these frequencies, it is actually causing you to subliminally pay attention to the points of your body and your chakra. Okay. Now, when you first start, yeah, you could be the moderator. I don't know if you can. I have a secret to tell you. What's up, Thomas? Welcome back. Um, yeah, I'm tell us the secret. And remember, this is live. This is going to be recorded, and people will remember or see what you said years from now. So be kind. Okay, that's all I can do. It's is to ask you to be kind because somebody I got on here once and uh, I have to really concentrate and focus on the comments because the letters are so small, and it kind of burned in my psyche what that person has said. And what they had wrote in was that man looks like a dwarf. I'm like, oh, okay. Ooh, boy. I probably compared to that person is probably from the bloodline of the Nephilims. So he's probably taller than the average person for to look at me and think that I'm a dwarf. I'm dwarf because I'm 5'6". So 5'9" is the average height. So you know, uh, I'm not exactly sure what he's seen. If 5'9" is average, I'm 5'6" or 5'7". It just can't be a dwarf. I've seen dwarfs, but anyway, I digress. So that was a mean thing to say. So if you have a secret to tell us, okay, or if you want, you could DM me. I guess by going to my channel or something. I don't know how to get a DM on YouTube, but anyway, yeah, please tell us a secret. If you tell us something, it'll benefit someone. Anybody can beat anybody on any given day. Okay, so anybody can learn something from what you have to say. You are important. You may not always be around people who think you are important. Um, I think people have a propensity to not give you an opportunity to be important because they don't want you to think that you are more important than they are or better than they are or you're like the orange man. Okay, I'm getting a vibe from him that he might think that he's better than so many other people. Okay, it's a vibe. It wasn't anything he said. He said like the young man earlier in here said, I'm black. Okay, who said that? I have Louisiana said hi. I'm Abdul. It's me, Abdul. Oh yeah, I remember you. You always make a bunch of chats, Abdul. Thank you for that. Or whenever you're on, you do a bunch of chats, and that makes it come up in the logarithm or something like that. Okay, so I've actually thought about being on your on you guys' channels and kind of do the same thing. I learned that from Doodle Fan. I'm 6'7". All right, which I learned that listening to the reaction videos, 6'7" doesn't actually mean anything. So somebody had asked me uh, if I knew what 6'7" meant. I didn't, and I remember what my answer was because I usually think about the Bible. So I said, like Isaiah chapter 6, verse 7. Okay. So I look for things to be solved with the Bible. All right. Now, who was that said I am black? He's talking about kid stuff because I'm getting bullied. Okay. Come on, Unc. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I understand that kids are not dumb. All right, they are, at least none of the kids in my family. I got 14 grandkids and two great grandchildren, and I don't think any of them are dumb. All right, they are adults, and the Bible even tells you how to handle kids. The Bible says, parents, do not bring your children to wrath. And if you listen to some of the news, children do some adult things. I think there was one child, he went to a hockey game or something, and and his family members were sitting in front of him. Okay, and he had a pew pew. And the only thing I could say is it didn't go well. That game did not go well. All right. So this is why I'm glad I learned about frequencies. All right, because do help me because I'm empathetic. They do help me uh, not internalize stories like that. Because in the past, I would have. It would have made me feel some type of way. And I'm walking down the street and a tear is I'm coming down my eye. You know, because I can feel that. So I had to learn how to protect myself, and in my journey, I learned that frequencies will do that because they'll get you to focus on yourself, on your strengths. They'll teach you how to prefer certain thoughts. That's the best part about it. I learned that the Bible says something like, say you're the creator of heaven and earth, and somebody wrote what you said. Um, Somebody wrote that the creator of heaven and earth said, I know the plans, I know the thoughts I have towards you, my plans to give you a hope and a future and to prosper you. Now, this is a different kind of prosper that you would hear at church. Oh, hey, give $10 and let God prosper you. Not that kind of prosperity. The type of prosperity that the creator of heaven and earth is quoted. I'm saying here is that type of prosperity that gives you peace. Okay, there's nothing like peace. Now you get peace by what you think. Okay, if you got somebody who just doesn't like you, that person is not going to give you thoughts of peace. Okay, so learning the frequencies, I learned how to control what I think. Only allow what I want to think in. The times that I can't do that, like if I'm driving or something, I got to keep my eye on the road or whatever. Um, all right, that's fine. You don't want to meditate whenever you're um, moving around. Okay, but whenever I'm asleep now, I start my meditating, the breathing, listening to the frequencies, and then my mind start thinking about the frequencies. All right, your mind is going to think, well, whatever you hear. If you are in your house and you start hearing creaky noises and stuff like that, there you're going to get up and try to find out if you got a ghost or something. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so your mind will think whatever you hear. If you want peace, you want to think, the Bible says, whatever is lovely, whatever is pure, whatever is of good report, think ye on these things. All right. He whose mind is stayed on Christ Jesus will be at perfect peace. All right. I mean, if you think about it, he never really said anything bad. Okay. Whether you think that it's a fairy tale book or if you think it's religious or something like that, there. Well, I mean, if you think about what the guy said, he never said anything bad. All right, so Just give them a chance. Give peace a chance. No more of this war and stuff like that. There, these people got people thinking about World War III. Now, before they started doing that, we might have thought that the next thing that was going to happen is World War III, but now we might even have it in a conversation. Okay. So that doesn't mean we're any closer to it, but if you start listening to the frequencies, you'll start getting answers. The fear leaves. Now, fear can approach you, but you will know that it doesn't come from the creator of heaven and earth. He would not put you down here for you to be a scaredy cat. He put you down here for you to be an overcomer. You will be the head and not the tail. And it doesn't matter your height, it doesn't matter your color. Okay? You will be the head. You will lend and not borrow. All right. Not midnight. I have to go to school in the AM. All right. School's a good thing. Let me see. Who was that that said I'm black? I saw that and I meant to say something. I saw that. Not midnight. My teacher will send me in or home. Yes, I don't tell you, teacher. You can ask your teacher if you can talk to the counselor, and I guess they will, because that's what counselors are for. I'm pretty sure you have a counselor, all right? And I don't think that they're going to ask you, but if they, if they ask you in front of the class, wonderful opportunity to tell them, I want to talk to the counselor about bullying in our school. All right, you have to be on some different stuff. Right? I want to be a policeman. Good job. Policemen are cool. They got a bad rap, but they're cool. You have desired a good thing. All right. What I'm doing is I'm trying to find that comment where somebody said that they were black. Okay. Well, that's odd. Maybe I imagined it. All right. I'm in year 3. All right, Thomas. It never ends. So keep going. Right. Do something for yourself. I have a secret to tell you. Okay. Was that your secret? I will summon. I'm in year 3. I'm trying to put together what you're talking about by your comments, Thomas. Do, 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 do. All right. All right, random. Good to see you. I'm the old Abdul. I have a few. Louisiana. I'm still scrolling through the comments. Somebody said that they were black. I wanted to comment on that. Oh, here it is. Oh, jeez. Here it is. I found you. All right. That's Doodle Fan. I'm 6'7". I am black. All right. Remember, if you are black, you are gifted. Iran said that they don't have anything against the blacks. I don't know if you heard this. Iran and the United States have been going through this for a while, so I really wouldn't worry about World War III. All right, this is just people's egos are getting in the way. So karma has a way of handling that. Okay, so I'm going to trust that karma is going to take care of these leaders and kind of get them out of the way. There should be regime changes for all these places, causing all these problems for all these people. Okay. Oh boy, people have to understand. We are Americans. We haven't been around that long. Okay, and they're fooling with people who've been around for thousands of years. And these people were conquerors. Okay, and what they decided to do was conquer wherever they are, and they kind of stayed over there, as opposed to conquering there and then coming over here and conquering. Right. So these are people who they fight. They've been fighters. They'll probably always be fighters. I like the propaganda that one of our adversaries is putting out. I never would have thought that, using the mind game against the adversary, because you always think that you have to bomb them or something, bomb them into obliteration or whatever. But they're using mind games, and some of the memes or some of the pops or bops or whatever they're called, they're hilarious. Right, and it was actually a answer to a mind game that Americans played with our fearless leader flying in a helicopter. If you get a chance to see that one, it just didn't give "I love the American people" vibe. Okay, it I was speechless, and I'm sure others who seen it were as well. So all right, so now I listen to the conspiracy theorist, the reaction videos. I listen to them only, and I understand that a lot of them may say something that is not verified. All right, so if you do it for a while, you kind of get a feeling for who's telling the truth and who's not. And if you don't, at least you are entertained. Are you not entertained by watching them? So while I'm doing that, listening to them, I'm not listening to something else. So, for example, this term fake news. Okay, now you don't want to watch the news because the leader calls it fake news. It might be okay, but you can't watch the people who have been known to tell the truth. Like CNN and news stations like that, BBC news stations like that. I like the BBC, and the reason why I like the BBC is because when 9/11 happened, they got right on it. So the BBC is overseas somewhere, all right, but they have offices here, all right. They call them satellite offices, all right. So they started covering the 911 thing, and the 911 thing didn't happen in like no 5 or 10 minute story. It took a while for them things to fall. All right. But there was this one building. Okay. All right. Everybody knows about the two, but there was another building called Building Number Seven. Okay. I don't know where Building Six was, Building Five. I don't know. I don't know where eight is. And I don't know if the Twin Towers was Building Number One and Building Number Two. I don't know all that. All right. I was just in shock when I was watching it happen. So I don't know how I ended up on the BBC, other than uh, I get leading and guiding and direction from a. I'll just say it. I get leading and guiding from a Holy Spirit. I don't get my leading and guiding from evil spirits. I don't get my leading and guiding from fake news. Okay. I trust what I'm hearing. The Bible says it like this: you'll know the truth when you hear it, and it'll make you free. It could say it'll set you free. It could say you'll know the truth when you hear it. It'll make you mad, but then it'll make you free. All right. So it probably doesn't say that, but once you learn the truth about anything or anybody, uh, it'll make you mad. Like we found out the truth about the Orange Man. Okay, and I it kind of worked opposite with him because we learned the truth about him, and he still became our fearless leader. So, my name is Wes. Keep my name out that mess. I'm not judging them. Uh, I just don't want to hear about people getting unalived. Okay, and I don't know if some of the things that he says and is I don't know if that's even fake news. I don't know if he really said it or not. So I'm not going to. I know. I know. One thing I know. You can make facts say anything you want. I can prove it. There are people in jail who were convicted on facts, and then 20 years later, they find out that that person was innocent. All right, so they didn't end up in jail because they did something to somebody. They ended up in jail because the facts made it seem like they did something. Okay, so you can make facts say whatever you want. So the ones who are using facts about him, all right, especially with the court system saying he has all these felonies and stuff like that. There, this is my thinking about that. You can make facts say anything you want. So we knew a long time ago when we were growing up. One of the things that we have to learn for our generation, all right, each generation has something significant to deal with. Your generation is going to have to be dealing with this World War III thing. All right. Our generation, kind of on the back burner, always knew because there's always been wars, guys. Don't think this is the first war, and don't even think it's the third war. There's always been wars. All right. We've always been at war with Iran, which used to be called Persia, which you can find out the history of Persia if you read the Bible. And it's interesting that in the last days that they're dealing with Persia. Okay, there's this statue that you're going to hear about, and it kind of looks like the statue in the Oscars or the Emmys or something like that. There, that guy holding. It's a gold statue or something. Well, this statue is described in the Bible, and parts of it has elements: iron, copper, brass, clay. Okay, and these elements make up this statue. And in the end days, uh, the people that are going to be destroyed, it'll be two people. It'll be two kingdoms. Each one of these that I described in this statue was kingdoms. Um, the iron part was probably I don't know, Rome or something. What they're talking about was their weapons. Okay, so uh, America was able to colonize, or actually Britain or the British or whoever was able to colonize the United States or America. I'm sorry, I want to use the right words. America was able to be colonized because of the weapons that they had of the people that they were colonizing were better than the weapons that the people who were here had. The people who were here they had poison darts, bow and arrows, uh, stuff like that. There, so it was easy to colonize them. So kind of look at this statue like that. Each part of this statue was a group of people or a kingdom that colonized with the weapons that they were using. Okay, so for example, both teams might have had weapons, but one team might have had clay. I mean, not clay, copper swords, and the other had iron swords. And the iron swords, whenever they would use them in a battle, would break the copper swords because copper. Really isn't that hard. You could bend it. Okay, you ever get a copper bracelet? All right, so you can bend it. So when that kingdom took over, it was taken over by the iron. All right, so The feet on this statue is the two kingdoms. All right. The statue is being held up, of course, by the legs and the feet. All right. The feet are kingdoms. All right. The Roman Empire, which was probably the iron part of the statue, is going to come back, but they're going to be smaller. Okay, they'll probably they don't have nukes. All right, all right, but they are a kingdom now in 2026. Kind of think of the Roman Catholics and stuff like that. They used to be the Roman army. All right, now they switched up a little bit, and I guess they figure, hey, um, we don't have to unalive our conquest. All right, because they're going to be our slaves, so we don't want to kill half of them. So they outsmarted them. Okay, and they made them slaves a different way. Mind game. All right, which is what Iran is doing now, or Peru in that statue. Okay, is doing that. They're using the mind games on us over here. Okay, and the other foot is a nation of clay. So the problem is after a while, this statue is going to get a little heavy on the clay foot, and that whole statue, all those kingdoms where they are really bombing right now, Saudi Arabia, Yemen, and all those places. Well, they're part of the statue. These places are kingdoms. Okay, so you guys might call them countries or something, but they're actually kingdoms. Iran is a kingdom. Okay, it's not a continent or whatever. Okay, all right. So these last two are going to be uh, d- destroyed, which is what Iran did in their mind game in the video that they showed as a warning to the United States. They're going to shoot this bomb. And I guess it's going to be supersonic or something, and they're not going to be able to blast it out of air or anything. And it's supposed to actually make it to the United States. Calm down. This is just an example. Okay. And it goes through all the countries, and it shows all the countries that have been colonized, and how all the countries that have been colonized right now, they are in ruins because the colonizer, I don't know, the, the emperor that wears no clothes that we have, decided at some point, hey, they're kicked up, or our buddies, or our constituent over there in the Middle East. It just started bombing them jokers. They never really got along anyway, but their weapons are stronger than the people that they colonized. Right? Their planes are faster, their missiles go further. All right, and the adversary can't really stop that. So that's how you know that that weapon that is going to be fired toward America is going to make it, because the countries that it's passing through doesn't have anti-missile stuff like that there. All right, like our constituent does. It's got the anti-missile thing, and it blows all the stuff out of the air. All right, but the way that this thing is supposed to be coming, the path that it's going to take, is going to make it end up right at the Statue of Liberty. Okay, and I don't know how many of you know this, but the Statue of Liberty, we thought, came from France or Italy or something. The people who helped us in World War I or World War II, or something. I don't really remember the whole story, but I do remember there was a controversy. That first statue was a melanated woman. Okay, and okay, it was a gift. All right. Now you'll find out that melanated people are treated differently outside of America. Okay, and that's because in America, melanated people are treated like cattle or chattel. Or, all right, and so are the non-melanated people. They just don't know it. So the ones who are in MAGA and stuff like that, they're in the same system. They don't even know it. They're okay. But anyway, I digress. So so they shot this missile. It's going to make it over all the colonized countries or states or whatever they are, and it's going to make it to the Statue of Liberty. The Statue of Liberty was originally a slave, all right, and they had on a chain or something, and the artist made the chain be snapped, all right, and the melanated lady or statue, she was holding the torch. See, the problem is the victor tells the story. So the victor is telling you that the Statue of Liberty is a person who really looks non-melanated. I mean, if you think about it, it doesn't have an afro. Okay, it isn't leaning, holding the torch or anything like that. There. So what they did was they sent the statue back, right? Because that was kind of too obvious. All right. So they asked him, politely, "Hey, would you mind? I'm doing this another one, a little heavier on the non-melanated side." Okay, so that's how we got this one that we have. All right, now, so this bomb, uh, they did. Iran did what is called a bop. I don't know if you all are familiar with that term, but it's a new term. Basically it's just a short video, but for some reason or another, you guys always change names of stuff. Please like and subscribe to my YouTube video. Please like the video and subscribe to my channel. I'm trying to get 1,000 subscribers so I can monetize. And I'll subscribe and like your videos as they come up. Okay. No, I have too many to follow them, but whenever the For You page comes up, it will give your channel your channel should pop up on my For You page, and I'll click on it, and of course I'll like your um, content. I don't have to subscribe because I would have already subscribed to you. That's how you came up on my For You page. Okay, so now they shoot this missile. It makes it to the foot of the Statue of Liberty, which, if you just look at it, it looks like it's the Statue of Liberty. It's not. Okay. One of the things that put Iran on the radar was, I think it was at the beginning of 2026, but they found this statue of a Baphomet and they burned that joker. You may not know this, but all the statues you see are not concrete or stone, all right, which is a good thing because stone and concrete and stuff crumbles. All right. I figured this out when they took Saddam Hussein out. I think he was the president of Iraq. What they did when the Americans came in or whatever, bombed him and everything, and captured him and unalived him, uh, they pulled his statue down. All right. His people pulled his statue down. Now, the Americans tried to do it, but, they were kind of outnumbered. So the people that were the opposition to Saddam, they got the rope and they pulled the thing down. So these things are copper and iron and stuff like that. Remember, the Bible says, "Make do not make for yourself graven images." And when you read something like that, it might not be an image of like a cat or something like that. That wouldn't be a graven image. A graven image would probably be of a god or Hercules or King David or something like that. There, these are these are that. Hold on. Hey, what's up? How are you? Keep it that way. No, you guys have some kind of thing. All right. Okay, I leave it at 10. Okay, so what do you do like half at a time so the people can get out or something, or are you going to open up another way for these guys to get out if they got to go get a coffee or something? All right, that's cool. All right, I'll see you Wednesday. Okay, so all right, so that's where graven image is. It usually has something to do with the god. Okay, um, so the Statue of Liberty. I don't know if that's iron or if it's copper or something like that. There probably is because I couldn't imagine them uh, putting that on a boat if it was all stone. All right, so it's probably copper as well. Okay, one thing. Oh, just a note for you. You may not know this, but we used to be able to go into the torch and look out over the city, but somebody probably tried to do something stupid, and all right, so now we're not allowed to go in the torch anymore. So anyway, I digress. So now you can just go up to the head, and they have windows up there. All right, and those seven crowns or those seven things in her head or on her head or something. I don't want to say her anymore because doesn't that face look kind of masculine to you? I don't know. Okay, I just got finished talking to a construction guy, and he got a masculine face. You know what I'm saying? So I can kind of tell if I'm looking at a masculine face and a feminine face. So, for example, the first Statue of Liberty they gave us, that was clearly a feminine face. It was a black slave that was freed or emancipated or whatever Abraham Lincoln or whoever that guy was did for us with an executive order. Okay. Back then, the presidents used executive orders for good. Anyway, I digress. Okay, so uh, all right, so that's where the bomb that they're promising to send to us is supposed to hit. They hit it right in the feet. And the reason why I started trying to give you the description of this thing was because they hit it right in the feet. All right. And the feet is supposed to be iron and clay, which is, again, it's two kingdoms. All right. One is Rome, like the Roman Empire and stuff that conquered the whole world or the known world at that time. And they figured, okay, look, it's easier for us if we get decentralized. So they came back during our time and they have consolidated their power. So you can't find they consolidated their power. So now they have a stronghold. All right. So when they shoot this thing, they actually show you a face of what they call a Baphomet, and it's a goat face with horns is actually holding the torch. So it is the Statue of Liberty. I don't know if you know this, but people, uh, some people overseas look at. Um, I don't know if it's the United States or if it's America, but they look at them and consider them to be evil. Makes perfect sense if they're blowing them up and everything. They would look at them like they're evil. Okay, so they call us the Great Satan in some places. So yeah, that's what the Baphomet is, the Great Satan. So that's where it's supposed to hit, and that's their mind game of letting them know. Number one, This is what the Bible would say be the last two kingdoms. All right. Now, what we tried to do was we tried to come up with one world government, and they're going to try to hurry up and try to push that righty then. But it'll what'll happen is what the Bible says will happen. Okay, the last two kingdoms will be the last kingdom. There's not going to be a one world government. I don't care how much you hear it. All right, because the Bible said that the Most High has a kingdom that has no end. So we're not going to come up with a kingdom, one world kingdom. All right. Every time we try to do something like that, karma kicks in. Even though it's a good idea, even though it will benefit people, there is a greater power that is completely opposite of that. Okay. It does not want us to have one world government. The last time we had one world government was Babylon. In the Bible, you'll find that the people of Babylon, they were the rulers of the world back then. They got the idea that they're going to build a pyramid up to the heavens. Okay. Power corrupts. If you have a little bit of power, this is why you want to be careful if you're going to be a policeman, because a little bit of power can go to your head. So power corrupts. All right. I don't know. I guess there's other things that corrupt, money and love of money. I don't know. But power does corrupt, right? And ultimate power, no more King's March. Ultimate power corrupts ultimate, uh, corrupts, wait, ultimately. All right. Power corrupts, ultimate power corrupts ultimately. And I can't think of the saying, but it goes something like that. Okay. So please, pray for your fearless leader. All right, because if something happens to him, the next leader is usually worse. If you go by history, people who lost a wicked leader always got a worse leader. All right, they believe right now that uh, Persia, they say that they took out the supreme leader, and it turns out that the one that they got is worse. Okay, the one that we got to deal with now is worse. Okay, so be of good cheer. Read your Bible. I don't want you to cram it in, trying to figure out what's going on. You can pretty much figure it out reading the book of Daniel, reading Revelations. Okay, these two books aren't really that long, and you'll kind of get an idea of how this thing is going to go. Not it isn't going to go according to man's plans. The best laid plans of men and boys always come to an end. Anything that man makes, it just crumbles. It lasts for a while. This is why we think that the pyramids and stuff was not made by man. Them jokers have been here for thousands and thousands of years. These pyramids and stuff like that there have been around longer than the longest civilization. Like China's been here for 4 or 5 thousand years, but America has only been here for what 250 years or something. Now that's the America that you guys know about, but there was an America here first. It was what was taken over. It was what was colonized, and they won't really tell us how long that kingdom or that system or that government was here. Okay, but chances are pretty good they were probably here around about the time that the pyramids and stuff were being established or built. Okay, so anyway, let's get back to the topic. If you can, let's get into the frequencies. The frequencies are going to get you connected back to yourself. We're all scrambled, we're all over the place, we're all distracted, and the frequencies will help you concentrate and focus on yourself. And I'm telling you something, there's nothing wrong with you. The bully on you, that doesn't mean there's something wrong with you. There's something wrong with the bully. The Bible says that you are fearfully and wonderfully made. And everybody knows that God don't make no junk. Men do. Okay. Um, they probably couldn't blow up the pyramids if they wanted to. I don't even think a nuke would damage it all that much because of the girth of the thing. You have to you have to bomb it with big boy and little boy or something like that. There, those are our atomic weapons. Which, since man said it, there's no such thing as atomic weapons. They had a meteorite that hit, I guess, last week or something. Now, this thing, they say it's traveling 4,000 miles per hour. And when it hit, it didn't make a crater or anything. I mean, I guess it just blew up just before it hit the ground or something. So there's no crater. But if you go to some other place, uh, when meteorites hit, they make craters. It was supposedly it was a creator that ended the reign of the dinosaurs. Okay, wait till you find the conspiracy theorists uh, that strongly indicate that there never were dinosaurs. I know you guys know that if you go to a museum and see a dinosaur, what they did was they kind of made it up. All right, all right. They usually found bones or teeth or something like that there, and the person who found it took it from a perspective when they rebuilt the thing that it was a dinosaur. But what if it was a giant? Okay, giants have the same size femurs as the dinosaurs and stuff. If you think about it, okay, and I mean the real giants. I don't mean the real giants. Okay, all right. Some people like Andre the Giant. All right, he was pretty big, but I mean giant giants. Okay, these giants are 40 elves long. So an elf is if you go from your elbow to here, and you put 40 of them stacked on top of each other. Giants like that. All right, if you do Andre the Giant, he's probably 5 or 6 elves. Okay, so back then when they were talking about elves, it was a height. All right, so anybody, if you used 4 elves to build something, and if I use 4 elves to build something, we're going to have a duplicate, but mine's going to be smaller than yours because my elf is shorter. Okay, so kind of look at it like that. So anyway, let's get back to the topic. Uh, try the frequencies. It's not witchcraft. It will benefit you. Most things that will benefit you are kind of subjected to, what do you call those people who approve the drugs and stuff like that there. And the reason why I'm using the drugs is because we came out of the World Health Organization, WHO, and there's been cures and stuff that now are being allowed to come into the United States, which when we were in it, we kept those cures and stuff from coming here because our thing is treat the illness, don't cure it. Because if you cure it, you lost the patient. But other parts of the world supposedly has cures for stuff. So somebody got in their feelings and they withdrew from the World Health Organization. So now that all this stuff that's been kept from us, we're able to see and learn about. So this is um, what we knew about electric cars and cars that run off of water. Oh boy, there's this one guy. Has this machine that makes water out of the air. So and it'll even work in Africa in uh, places that don't have a lot of humidity. We got a guy now who takes plastic bottles, milk bottles, and stuff like that, and he burns them and turns it into gasoline, which is going to take care of our problem with ocean pollution. Okay, because most of it's plastic. Okay, or a great deal of it is plastic, so we can actually depollute the oceans and dump yards or stuff like that there. All right, so we can actually clean up the planet. So these types of people who come up with these types of ideas, now they're they're slipping through the cracks. All right, but in the old days, if you came up with something like that, the guy who came up with that first car that could go uh, on and on and on as long as he had water. Okay. All right. Well, he's no longer with us. The guy, even Tesla, he was there's a picture or a video of him sitting in this room with a Tesla coil, sparks going all over the place, and he's sitting in there reading a book, or at least acting like he's reading a book, and the electricity never came anywhere near him. Okay, and the reason why he was able to do that, I'm going to give away the plot here, was because electricity comes from the ground. But we grew up thinking that you could fly a kite in a rainstorm and electricity will strike it. And if you got a key or something on it, all right, that's what the person who had the victory over us, that's their explanation because they always want to be taking credit for stuff they really didn't do. Okay. Like, for example, if you look around town and see like all these older buildings and stuff, you see they look different than our buildings that we build. We don't build buildings like this anymore. I'm actually right across the street from one. You could tell that it was built um, before 250 years ago because it got the gargoyles on it and big old heavy bricks. Okay. Uh, okay. So we didn't build those. We found them. That's why they call them founded in 1509. I heard a interesting story that made me look a little closer at those dates. They're actually shaped like an eye. Okay, so instead of it being uh, 1505 or 1507, it was really built in 507. All right, so the eye is not a one. Isn't that something? So things that we just overlook and things that we take for granted and things that we were told, we are messed up. Iran felt so bad for African Americans and stuff in the last war they had with the United States. Once the Ayatollah found out that there were black soldiers that were captured, he said, "Let them people go. They've been oppressed by our same adversary." Okay, this is a different group of people now, so I don't know if that'll happen because we have boots on the ground now. They're not in the war zone, I guess, but they have a lot of non-melanated people, just like the jails have a bunch of non-melanated people. Okay, but it kind of hurts my heart to think that. All right, so anyway, I pray that that's what will happen. I mean, the melanated people who are in the military and stuff like that there and have to go, or if they're being asked to join the military, please uh, consider being a conscientious objector. Okay, stand up, be a man. You don't have to go. Okay, and if you do, and if you don't make it back, you won't be able to hear us say, "I told you so." All right. I mean, if you think about it, you're going to be over there shooting at them. They're going to be shooting back. Right? And it's the same thing if you're black. If you're shooting at them, they're going to shoot you back. But if you get to a position where you become a prisoner, they'll probably let you go. And their reasoning is blacks have been oppressed as well as Iran has been oppressed, as well as Yemen has been oppressed. You're going to find out some really interesting things, like the 2030 agenda. They actually wanted to attack like 7 places. They have an agenda that they want to attack these 7 places. The problem is these places are biblical. The names were changed. That's all. As they were taken over and defeated, the victor changed the name of them. All right. So again, Iran used to be called Persia. All right, and they were an empire. They didn't stop being an empire. They just got oppressed. All right, because Persia's weapon back in the day was not as strong as the oppressor's weapons. Aircraft carriers and stuff like that. But enough time has passed. They strengthened themselves a little bit. They didn't sit back and just be like, okay, come on and oppress us. What they did was they played dead. And now they're like, surprise. Okay. And, there are probably some sleeper cells here. For those of you who don't know what a sleeper cell is, the only thing I can tell you is you're going to find out about them real soon. Okay. So, the Bible says that in the last days, if you are in Babylon, flee from her, because the judgment that is going to befall them, if you're close enough to them, you're going to be collateral damage. What they'll do is non-melanated women are being told, probably on the QT, that uh, global warming is going to be a problem, and if you don't have enough melanin, you won't be able to come outside. Radiation is going to be too strong, and the big thing about being melanated is you could handle radiation better than non-melanated people. In case you're wondering what the big deal is, all right. So, for example, the melanated people were enslaved and put in bondage because they are going to work in the fields and they could take the heat. All right, their bodies. All right, and the non-melanated peoples, not so much. I don't know what they did before they got slaves, but I don't know because anyway, I digress. I don't know what the non-melanated people were doing and producing, but I want you to do a little bit of research and find out about the Dust Bowl. Okay. Um, so whatever they were doing, it wasn't as successful as it became once they started slavery and stuff like that. There, it's pretty interesting. So take the yoke of the one called Jesus Christ and learn of him. His burden is light. All right, we are all living under some type of burden, paying bills. All right, fixing and repairing something daily. Uh, Deciding if we're gonna buy medicine or food. Okay, I don't live to eat. I eat to live. I can't remember the last time I had a meal. I think the last time I had a meal, I went over one of my family members' house for Thanksgiving. And I can't even say, I'm pretty sure it wasn't last Thanksgiving. It might have been one a couple Thanksgivings ago because I don't do that. I don't want to do holidays because they all cost money. I don't want to do birthdays because I got 14 grandkids and two great grandkids. Could you imagine how much cake I would eat in a year? All right, but you always it always costs money. All the holidays cost money. There's no free holidays, but there are free high holy days. Okay, so I want you to learn about the high holy days. Right, and once a week you get a free day. Remember the Sabbath day and keep it holy, which basically means no work. But the free day you get with our oppressor is Sunday, and places are open on Sunday. Now, in the old days, stores and stuff were closed on Sundays, but slowly but surely, they went back to people working on Sunday. See, it's a problem with man's plans. All right, best laid plans of men and boys. It sounds good, looks good on paper, but by the time you try to walk that thing out, you're gonna have to make some adjustments. All right, I'm Doodle fan. I'm a kid. All right, and now remember, my videos are marked not for kids. So, okay, so I'm in year three. Yes. Good night. I'm going to sleep. Wow, you must be way overseas. Good night, David. I'm going to sleep. Good night, Thomas. Okay. Who's the champ? Hey, Circuit. I'm just getting down to reading the comments. Okay. When's it happening? Um, when the creator of heaven and earth decides, that's when it's going to happen. Okay. So you could have plans, a man could have plans, just like the days of Babylon. They plan on building this thing and getting up to heaven. Okay. And it was just a theory that you would never be able to build anything up to heaven. But what they had decided to do was do something that would take their um, focus and their attention and the intention that the creator of heaven and earth has for us. Yes, um, he plans for us to get to heaven, but he doesn't plan on us building something and we could just walk right into heaven. Okay, okay, and even worse, everybody agreed. So when he gave them opportunities to, change that, not do that, they didn't um, take that, and he blowed it up. Okay. He did the same thing to the Tower of Babel, which his people from Iran is going to do to, in theory, the Statue of Liberty. But basically, what that bop is they're trying to give you the mind game portion that America is the land of Satan or Satan's kingdom or Babylon. So that's what they're saying. Okay. So anyway, that's my story. Is there anybody else? All right. Uh, Circuit Waves. Please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm trying to get 1,000 subscribers so I can monetize. If you are trying to get 1,000 subscribers, I'll like your videos and I'll subscribe to your channel and help you get a little bit closer to monetizing as well. If you come up in my For You, um, I'll click on it and I'll put some comments in there. And of course, I'll like your videos as well. Okay. Because your videos probably won't be as long as mine because I'm
chatty. Not chatty Cathy either. All right, but um, one thing that you might know or may not know is if you talk about the creator of heaven and earth, he remembers you. See, what he did when he bought people out of Egypt, out of bondage, he told them specifically, "All right, I'm going to get you out of here, and but I want you to praise and worship me." All right, and it's not the praise and worship where you're going to bow down and do like one nation of people do. All right, that's their thing, but that could be considered praise and worship. But the praise and worship, people praise and worship him differently. All right, if you go to a all black church, they praise and worship a little differently than if you go to like a Catholic church or something. Catholic church, so 45 minutes, bada boom, bada bing, an hour you're out of there. But it's not so with a melanated church. All right, it just goes on and on and on. It'll go on as long as somebody's long as somebody's there. Oh, you might as well keep on having church, okay? So anyway, make it a great day. Learn something new. It's the only way to not be bored. Okay, if you're bored, you might fall for anything, just to get some adrenaline going. You know, I don't know. I'm so lucky and so fortunate that I am not an adrenaline junkie because it usually has outcomes like the fall doesn't kill you. It's the sudden stop at the end that kills you. So I don't want to be involved in anything like that. So I'm keeping my 2 feet on the ground. I do want to do something like zip line. I would like to do that. I wouldn't mind mountain climbing because even if I do fall, I'm not going to fall off the side of the mountain. So I like to be in the forest at night with the trees that are thin, not like the ones that are over there in Colorado, the redwoods and stuff like that. There, you know, it might be hard to see the stars, sun, moon, and stars because they're so girthy and so big. But like if you go to North Carolina or Georgia or something, those trees are straight and they don't have street lights. So it's pitch black. They don't have any white noise or light pollution or anything. So you can look up and you can see the stars and stuff. And that was a plan that I had when I found myself there observing the Feast of Weeks. It's a high holy day. Look it up, try it, why don't you? But what that does is you go to live outside for a week so you can remember where you came from. So you can remember um, the many generations that slept outside that didn't have houses and remind you where you came from. Even though you were born in 2001 and you never felt the need or never had to live outside. Okay. But there was a time when that's what we did. People lived outside. So this is what this feast is for. So you would, so you can remember that. Always remember where you came from. Okay. Learn from the mistakes of the past. I sleep on my floor. It's a cement floor, but I don't have any problem with sleeping on the floor. I do have a mat. It's about that thick. Well, it might be a little thicker, but I don't use it as often as I used to, or as often as I could. Since I got it, I could use it every day. But I sleep on the floor. I walk in the grass. Okay, and I do stuff that we used to do, which was fine. Doing that we made it all the way here, and if it worked, so it'll probably continue to work. So why stop it? Because we got used to driving cars, catching buses, planes, trains, and automobiles. It really hasn't really helped us. All right, number one, getting around like this and our modes of transportation is our weakness. That's why they're attacking the oil and stuff like that. There, if we lose the oil and stuff, we lose electricity. Okay, I mean we're in the dark. We're stuck like Chuck. So it's a weakness. Fat zombies. What is the name of that movie? Oh man, what is the name of that movie? Oh man, I could see it, but it so old the movie is. But anyway, they assigned this guy to go figure out where this zombie virus came from. Okay, while the zombies were zombieing. Okay, so he always had some kind of protection around him because him and another guy they always send a scientist. Okay, with you whenever something like that happens. Well, the scientist was explaining about viruses, and I like when people explain simply. Okay, because I'm a simple guy. He said a virus is a serial killer, right? But it's also narcissistic, and to it wants you to find its weakness. All right, like people who are you know serial killers, deep down, psychologists say that they always wanted to get caught. Well, it's the same thing in this movie when he was talking about the viruses. He said that if you watch the virus and how it works, it wants to be caught. You could see the weakness. So in this particular zombie movie, you're going to find that the zombies will bite everybody, turn anybody into a zombie except somebody that was sick. Okay, and it took the guy, the scientist, he didn't make it to actually figuring out what the zombie's weakness was because he was a faint of heart. And when he found himself in the midst of the zombies, he panicked and he tried to go back to a place of safety. Uh, he had the fight or flight mechanism had kicked in, and he chose flight. The problem with choosing flight is he had a gun in his hand. So you can imagine what happened because it was raining at the time, and his flight mechanism kicked in, and he wanted to run up a metal ramp. So that didn't go so well for him. All right, and so the original guy, he kept going, and began to notice that the zombies would run around, and instead of running and attacking everybody, they would run around people. Okay, so he couldn't figure out why. All right, because the guy who told him about the weaknesses of viruses before he had a chance to expound on it, uh, he got unalived. So there's a lot of pressure. The guy that's left, he's trying to figure it out as he goes. Plus, he's in the middle of the zombie thing, so he's having flight or fight mechanisms too. It's being around a bunch of zombies is frightening. Okay, it's you're not built for that. Okay, so he gets to like Israel or something like that there, and Israel has in this movie they have a Great Wall, kind of like the Great Wall of China. If he had went to China, he probably would have found the same thing that the zombies uh, couldn't get around walls. The Great Wall of China is quite extensive, quite large, so the zombies would never make it to the Great Wall of China. All right, and they say that the Great Wall of China, I don't know, I'm in America. They say that the Great Wall of China has a China side and I guess a Russian side or something. I don't know. And the towers are on the China side or something like that. So whoever built it, the towers are on the side facing them, okay, not facing where the enemy or the adversary will be coming. That's interesting, isn't it? What was actually going on back then, right? So since it has that type of scenario, the people who are around there might not want to elaborate on what was going on. Why is the towers facing them? Okay, if you go to a prison, you could, if you go anywhere, you could kind of tell by the fence, and if it has barbed wire on the top of the fence, if the barbed wire is on the outside, they're trying to keep people out. If the barbed wire is facing on the inside, they're trying to keep people in. So that's my thinking on the Great Wall of China. All right. So anyway, I digress. So, so he notices that, and as time goes on, he makes it to the World Health place. All right, and he kind of put it together that if you have an illness, the zombies won't eat you. All right, he kind of figured that out, but where are you going to get an illness when the zombies is biting everybody? So he had to go to the World Health Organization somewhere, and he found the closest one. And since they had a plane crash, of course, he broke his ribs. So now he's trying to make it there in pain. And the lady or the soldier from Israel who's trying to help him and keep him safe, all right, she made sure he got there. That was her assignment anyway to keep him safe. All right, so uh, so when he got there, the World Health people, of course, they had a gate and everything, and they were kind of suspicious of him. So I don't know what it is about the non-melanated people, but they don't mind putting handcuffs on you. So they took care of him, nourished him, bandaged him up and everything. But when he woke up, he was handcuffed to the table. All right, so they played this little game, and some calls were made. He had his people call their people, and their people talked to his people and stuff like that. There, and they gave him the down low. So the viruses and stuff or whatever, it was kept under lock and key, not the part that he was in. So they had to where all the diseases and germs and stuff that they were experimenting on, um, they had to go downstairs basically. Okay, so they're upstairs, but to get to the diseases and stuff, they had to go downstairs. The problem is there were zombies down there as well. All right, so anything that mankind makes is going to have issues. They think they thought it through, but um, once they got down there, once the hero got down there, there was no way for him to communicate with the people upstairs. Okay. Uh, the room that he had to go into that had all these specimens in it didn't have a phone. Okay. So I guess the people upstairs, they knew what the inventory was, but for some reason or another, by the time he got in there into that room, the zombies started coming again, and he couldn't get to the phone. All right, to find out what things to take. So he just grabbed a handful of them. All right, and the people upstairs had caught one of these zombies, so he could test which one of these things. If he made it back upstairs, he could take all these shots and stuff. Since he was with the World Health Organization people, they had antidotes for everything. So no matter what he took, he wasn't going to die from it, but it would be present in his body, and they were just going to put him in that room where the zombie was and check that theory. Okay, so he had that to look forward to, but they couldn't tell him what type of uh, germs to take or something. I don't know. So he just grabbed a handful of them, and since he's a hero, of course, he decided, well, uh, it's a do or die. So he took a shot of something. He didn't know what it was, but if it was in that room, it was dangerous. Okay, and he sat in there for a while. He gave it a chance to work through his system and stuff like that. About as long as it would take for a sandwich to make it through your esophagus to your stomach and stuff like that. There, then it has to get into your bloodstream by being broken down, emulsified by the stomach. All right. So now he's all zapped up, and he's like, okay, well, I guess I'm going to go ahead and see if I can get past the zombie. There was one that was really interested in him, and he was right by the door. Ugly dude, and he was tall too. All right, and in that room there was no chairs or anything that he could have used to separate him. So, so he just had to just man up and open up the door and see what happens. And the zombie didn't see him. Oh, excuse me. The zombie didn't see him, and he was able to make it back upstairs. So now he's worried about the zombies that respond to sound. So he made a lot of noise, and he tried to get all the other zombies to come. And they did, and they didn't see him either. So the disease masked them. They had eyes, but I guess they weren't. I don't know. They didn't bite you. If they saw you, they bit you because you were healthy. That's the virus wants a healthy host. All right, so so that's why I kind of pointed out the World Health Organization, because once we came out of the World Health Organization, we were able to get a lot of these cures and stuff now. Okay, so you're going to find out as time goes on, people can live forever. Okay, um, and stuff. So be of good cheer. It looks bad now, but we'll be all right. All right. The Most High got this. They're thinking um, it's it's been reported that some of the American generals and captains and stuff said that they are here. They know that they're in a holy land, and they're thinking if they could cause Armageddon, that's part of their plan. They're thinking they're part of a holy war. It, some of the mega people think that the Orange Man is a messiah or something like that. They have a messiah complex with him. They think that he's doing God's will. So I'm not surprised later on to find out that they're over there now, and some of the commanders have said things like that to the cannon fodder. Is what they're going to end up being. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. So let's get back to using the frequencies. It takes a minute for it to work. Anytime you're trying something new, you're going to do it wrong, or you're going to overdo it, or you're going to be doing too much or something. And so eventually, you'll get a happy medium, and it'll start working for you. The healing frequencies, if you're having pain or something like that, I'm not. I haven't found the right combination for the healing frequencies, but I found something else. I have high blood pressure, and I'm focusing on that. And I found something that actually will lower your blood pressure. When I wake up in the morning, man, my blood pressure is 168 over 87. Yeah, yeah, you know what I'm saying? So now I'm worried about it all day. I'm like, oh, geez, I'm going to have another stroke. So I'm listening to the reaction videos and stuff like that there. And one of them came on. I think his name is Chef Shani or something like that there. CHENAI or something like that there. I don't have it right now, but he does his his remedy is called a blood detox, and the way he explains it, how it affects it on blood pressure and stuff, I tried it, and it's been working. So if I had not have been in tune with the frequencies and stuff like that, there, I would have stuck with the prescription medicine. Now I thought that all right, I'm taking the prescription, so my blood pressure is cured. It isn't. Okay, uh, it treats the symptoms, and one of the side effects is after a while it'll stop working. So then they'll put you on something else. Then you'll deal with those side effects. But I'm finding taking this remedy from Chef Shawnee, it's actually working. Now my blood pressure is around 138. Okay. When I wake up in the morning, that's good because it went from, oh, hey, who came in the room? All right. Lamidia, Lamdi 2. Oh, I'm not even going to try to pronounce that. Your Surge, Gi Sakaida, did Thai Lamdi. Okay, I'm sure that's a name from another country. That is not an American name. But thank you for coming in. All right, so I'm finding that the blood pressure remedy that he gave or has worked. So if anybody wants to know about it, I'll be back online on Wednesday about the same time. I usually get here at 7. Well, I actually start at 7. So sometimes I'll just jump right into doing my video so I can get off my chest what I've been thinking because I might forget or the most important thing I might leave out. So if you want to know the name of it, I'll tell you tomorrow because I don't have it with me today. But I was able to find something like this and trust it and try it because I'm getting into the frequencies that are helping me focus on myself. Okay, I'm not accepting other people's solutions so much because I thought if I start taking the high blood pressure medication, all right, it's over. I should be fine now, but that's not exactly what happened. All right, so now I'm taking this remedy and I'm satisfied with it. All right, so if you come on Wednesday, I'll have it written down, and or if I can, I'll try to put it in the description or the title or something like that there. But I'll make sure that you guys get it because I don't think I could do any comments or any chat responses when I'm live. Okay, I could do stickers. I could do the microphone. All right. Yeah, I can't do stickers, highlight video, retouch, create green screen lighting, and close. No, I'm not able to put in chat responses. But maybe if I get 1,000 subscribers, if you like my videos and uh, subscribe to my channel, I might be able to do that because I've seen people respond to chats. I could do it on my desktop if I do a live video, the comments window open, and you guys would be coming in and leaving me your salutations, and I can actually it actually gives me a line where I could put in a comment, but on the phone it doesn't. So maybe I need another phone. As this is a Android, and it's mankind made it, so they can't cover everything. So it is what it is. All right, so that's my story. Is there any questions? Who's the guy that made the poop bandit down there? You have any questions? I cannot pronounce your name. Okay, so for this time, I'm going to say make it a great day. And it's easier to love, um, not the selfish kind of love, not the possessive kind of love. That is going to tear you up, young people. To tell you the truth, the best kind of relationship is friendship. Okay, if you like a girl, um, don't start sowing your wild oats because it costs you so much grief whenever you break up. But if you're just friends, the relationship will really go on. And you'll probably go on trips and vacations and have milestones and stuff together. Where if you get into that heavy panting type of relationship with them, it that isn't final. They always want more. They always people. They have a lot of let's just say arguments that might get a little bit physical. Okay, but you might not have those type of arguments that get a little bit physical if they're just your friend. So it's a better relationship. All right, I found that out after like 5 tries. That it's just a better relationship. When we were growing up, one of the things that you would hate to hear a girl say to you, "Hey, let's just be friends." Oh boy, nobody wants to be in the friend zone. But all things considered, it's better. It's a friend zone. You're safe. Your emotions are safe. You can still feel the same about each other, but you're just friends. You're not going to go past that. It's a better relationship. It'll last longer. Your friends are people who remember you from grade school. All right. Now that's a friend. Okay. That's a good friend. Okay. So anyway, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it for the third time. Are there any questions? Who's the person who did the poop sticker? Let me see if I can find a poop sticker and poop you right back. Do 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 do. Choose a sticker. Oh no, I can't. I could only choose Q&A and poll. I'm stickers. But I saw what you did. Be kind. It takes the same amount of time and it gives a better result. Somebody will actually prefer you. Somebody will actually want to be around you. People want to love you. This is how we keep getting in these bad relationships because people want to love. People want love. It's easier to love. Just don't get the what do you call it? The possessive kind. That's all. All right, you guys are adults. I'm not going to beat a dead horse. Love ya. See ya.